from above American Airlines Center as we get ready for Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. The Spurs won the two previous games here in Dallas, and they're looking to bounce back from their collapse in San Antonio. This past Tuesday night, the Mavericks are back in this series while the Spurs have yet another opportunity to close it out. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, along with the Czar, Mike Fratello, Jeff Van Gundy. Well, as reported just moments ago on the pregame show, once again, Dirk Nowitzki will sit out because of that sprained knee, so he is missing his third straight game. Jeff, are the Mavericks capable of another emotional, improbable victory?
They can if Michael Finley continues his dominance of this series. He's averaging over 24 points, 6 rebounds, and is 30 from 30 from the free throw line, but he still needs an inside presence. Eduardo Najera gave that to him in Game 5.
Our San Antonio, a team that has now blown 5 playoff games, losing double-digit leads on 5 occasions. Are they feeling the pressure going into tonight?
We normally talk about losing games in the fourth quarter, but Game 5 was lost in the second quarter. Spurs up 19, couldn't deliver the knockout punch. They go in at halftime just up 11 points. Greg Popovich spent yesterday trying to convince his team how fortunate is the position they're in, that they can go on to the NBA Finals. He wants them to respect it more and then seize the opportunity.
The come-from-behind win by the Mavericks in Game 5 put that presentation ceremony on hold. Now they're looking to even the series at 3, setting up a Game 7 back in San Antonio. Well, the guys earlier talked about Tony Parker. He's playing with a case of the stomach flu. Mavericks going with the same starting lineup we've seen in the previous 2 games with Walt Williams and Nick Van Exel as the starters. And Sean Bradley is also available tonight. It was thought that he would be out for the rest of the series. Don Nelson telling us that he's looking for Bradley to give him a couple of minutes here and there. Bradley with a sprained medial collateral ligament in his right knee. So Parker opens up against Finley. We're underway in Game 6. They collapse on Duncan, gets it to Jackson. Yes, Stephen Jackson with the first bucket of the night.
We saw 2 things happen there on offense. One, Duncan tried to split the double team, and then when he stepped through, Jackson stepped into his shooting pocket and was not hesitant.
And Exel pops it immediately. Tony Parker missed the shoot-around earlier in the day. Crowd wanted to travel on Parker. Here is Duncan. And it's tipped home as both Duncan and LaFrance went for that loose ball. It's a 4-0 San Antonio lead. Williams pass kicked by Robinson, so Dallas maintains possession.
And Walt Williams really struggled when he had to put the ball to the floor in Game 5 to make a play, either to finish a layup or to complete a pass. There again, another tough possession for him.
And again, you saw what happens when they have Robinson and Duncan on the floor. You may go past the one, but then you encounter the next big man that protects the rim for San Antonio.
They cleared out for Finley, and he draws the foul. Michael Finley, who has been superb all series. Game 5, 31 points, 8 rebounds, 5 steals.
Jackson tends to go for ball fakes, wants to get the block. Finley gets him up in the air, goes to the line now for 2.
Dallas Mavericks were perfect at the line this past Tuesday night. 23 for 23. Remember, in Game 1, they hit 49 of 50 at the foul line. During the regular season, they were 83%. Best in the NBA. Second best overall in the history of the league. The Boston Celtics of 1989-90, a shade in front of what Dallas accomplished. Bruce Bowen given the room. Tony Parker resets. There's Tim Duncan. Rebounded by Michael Finley.
This is almost a combination defense right now. They've assigned one man to Duncan, and then they're zoning off with the rest of the Dallas Mavericks.
LaFrance not able to hit. Parker. Robinson and LaFrance in a battle for that loose ball and the foul on Robinson.
Robinson's trying to figure out where the foul is called. He was just trying to hang in there and got a hand on the ball the same way LaFrance did. And just because your arms got interlocked, both players going after the ball, I thought that was a no call.
Play on.
Play on.
The officials, Steve Jabbie, Ron Garrettson, and Tom Washington. 2 minutes gone by here at the start. Williams trying to shake off Duncan. The play by LaFrance to keep it alive. Van Exel. Little flip shot, as Nick Van Exel likes to refer to that running one-hander. Here's Duncan from Jackson. So the Spurs able to get Tim Duncan off to the good start. His second field goal, 6-2, San Antonio.
I love when San Antonio goes to the pick and roll early in the game. Everybody gets involved and they get the body off Duncan so he gets better quality shots.
Really looking for the screen. Played well by Jackson. Here's LaFrance off the dribble. Great LaFrance taking it to the rim.
Jeff, you have to be excited about that. No three-point shot. Down low inside. Strong move.
I am so excited about that. Ray taking it to the rim.
Parker open. Rebounded by LaFrance. Spurs get back. Steve Nash, who had the excellent second half to help spark Dallas to that come-from-behind win the other night. Nash stripped by Parker. Duncan for Robinson. He's fouled by LaFrance.
Sometimes more of a coach will put a limit to how many passes they want. Phil Jackson every once in a while stands up for the Lakers and says 5. That's their 5-pass offense. Ginobili from out of bounds. It's the jump shot. So Nelson today in shoot-around told his team in passing games, we want at least 5 touches of the ball.
LaFrance set up by Nash. And your guy continues to take it to the rim.
This is what he can do. He's a talented player. He's too talented to hang on the perimeter. He's mixing it up tonight.
It counts in the foul. Malik Rose will head to the line. San Antonio leads by 2. Marv Albert with the czar, Mike Fratello, Jeff Van Gundy. Here's LaFrance, way off on his first perimeter attempt.
There's your guy, Jeff.
He's tired right now. He's expended a lot of energy.
Jackson. LaFrance with the rebound. Is there a recruiting process that is going on here?
No, just trying to be a motivating factor. No, he really is tired, though. He's really played hard and played well. They're going to have to give him a blow here pretty soon.
Here's Williams on a catch and shoot. And Duncan pulls it down. As we come up on 1 minute remaining in this first quarter. Game 6 of the Western Conference Final Series. Duncan once again getting terrific position, and the Spurs extend to a 4-point lead.
Jeff, something a little different, using the high pick and roll against the zone, screening one of the top people of the zone, then rolling someone right into the heart of it.
And Exel, well, a moment ago, hit from the left side, now from the right. Dallas within 2.
And I do like that adjustment of running more pick and rolls against the zone and getting Duncan on the move.
Claxton, Speedy Claxton with his first field goal.
And after that last pick and roll against the zone, Dallas came back and went man-to-man that time after the score.
And Exel went 2 for 1. Nice back tap by LaFrance. LaFrance again. Great LaFrance with 8 points, 7 rebounds. There's a 1-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. San Antonio in possession. They're up by 2. Ginobili went behind the back, got himself in trouble, and the ball will go back to Dallas.
And they went
too early. They're attacking the basket too early. 1 second differential. Now Dallas has 7 seconds to get up a shot.
It started with Claxton going too early. They wanted a dribble handoff with Ginobili. Claxton went at about 11. Ginobili gets the ball in his hand and does a quick behind-the-back dribble. Now he's in the lane, tied up, in trouble. Still 7 seconds remaining.
I think you should go at 8. 8 on the clock.
If you're going to dribble handoff.
Yeah.
If you're making a straight move on your own, I think, Jeff, you bring it down to 6 and then make your move.
Now LaFrance sits down. Nash has come on. Final seconds of this first quarter. Roger Bell with 1.6 remaining. Look out. Almost intercepted. Duncan comes up short. And that's the end of one here in Dallas. The Mavericks and the Spurs are tied at 22. Rafe LaFrance, the story for Dallas in the first quarter.
You know, it's amazing. San Antonio has really great fans. The fans here tonight in this building have been sensational. But when the team comes back home, it's amazing how many fans show up to meet them at the airport. Even the players really appreciate it. They talk to us about it.
And Ronald Nahara lost the handle off the lead pass from Steve Nash. And the ball back to San Antonio. Nahara called for the foul.
And Nahara, until last game, had really had trouble finishing. He did on that layup, and then he compounded it by pushing Bowen out of bounds.
Nahara so important in that Mavs comeback the other night. Does it all show up in the box score? Played 33 minutes. And his aggressive play helped turn things in the third quarter. Tony Parker has checked back in. Nahara with the steal. And back comes Nash. Finley off the fake.
There used to be an old college thing that they would talk about against zones. Pass, turn it over. You've eventually got to become aggressive, put it on the floor, or look for a shot, or else the clock is running down against you.
It's the first time the Mavericks had led. Another good play at the defensive end by Nahara. Ginobili was trying to draw a foul. Finley thought he was fouled. And you can hear the reaction from the crowd. Finley thought he was fouled again as play continues. Williams with the fake. And the ball fake. And scores! The Wizard with 2 fakes. One as he started his drive and then as he cut to the rim. Dallas by 4. San Antonio 3 turnovers their last 3 possessions. Ginobili. And that is turnover number 4, an offensive foul. Ginobili called for the charge.
So you agree for a change? With you or with the referee?
Just in general, both.
Agree. Okay.
I'm a very agreeable guy.
28-26, Dallas. It's Parker over Williams. Quick release by Williams. Williams looking for his shot. He now has 6 points. Mavericks up by 4.
It's been interesting, Jeff Hazard, the way a different guy travel right there. Rose dragging that foot. I was saying it's interesting how a different guy for Dallas has seemed to step up during different quarters. And Nelly said, you know what, I've been coaching like to win quarters, trying to stay close enough so that we still have a chance at the end. You see LaFrance have a big first quarter. Williams now making shots. They've taken their turns.
Well, he knows if he can get it into a 1 or 2 possession game in the fourth quarter, pressure falls to San Antonio. They don't shoot free throws well. It makes it difficult.
Once again, LaFrance trying to take it to the basket. And last touch by LaFrance. The Spurs have committed 4 turnovers over the last 5 minutes of this quarter. You see Tim Duncan sitting out. David Robinson is back on. Parker and Jackson at the guards. Robinson, Bowen. Rose up front. Robinson gets position. David Robinson able to set up down deep. San Antonio within 2. Walt Williams has scored the last 6 points for the Mavericks. LaFrance. Now Bell. Here's Nash. Yes. He had a foot on the line. It's a two-pointer. Mavericks 32. The Spurs 28. First field goal for Steve Nash. Nick Van Exel getting ready to return. And the call away from the ball. It is on Dallas. Trying to tie the series at 3 to send it back to San Antonio for Game 7 on Saturday. Will Williams trying to draw the charge. Nahara with yet another rebound. Nash looking to orchestrate. Nahara firing one off glass and try to play the ricochet.
He saw Tracy McGrady do that. Throw the glass, catch it, and dunk it, so he thought he'd try it.
There's Jackson again for three. Steven Jackson keeping the Spurs in this first half. He now has 11 points. It's a 3-point Dallas lead for Jackson, his second from beyond that 3-point line.
And again, that was a very decisive shot by Jackson.
That was a bad pass by Williams. He tried a touch pass. He never had possession. As a result, San Antonio will get it back. Ginobili is an NBA rookie, but he is 25 years old, a guy with big game experience overseas. But Greg Popovich happened to look over and see that his hands were shaking.
Yeah, but we can't forget, this is not an old veteran team as far as the key guys that are playing the main minutes for San Antonio. Tony Parker's 21 years old. Claxton is young. I don't care what Ginobili did in Europe. This is the NBA right now. You're trying to get to the championship round.
Kevin Willis has checked in for the first time, and that shot way off. Mavericks with a 3-point lead, just under 2 to go in the first half. Game 6 of the Western Conference Final Series. Dallas trying to tie it at 3. They'll head back to San Antonio for Game 7 on Saturday. Spurs looking to wrap it here tonight and head to the NBA Finals. Claxton able to get to it. Crowd looking for a foul on the Spurs. They thought Nash was hit. And away from the ball, Duncan called for the foul on Nahara. That's the first on Duncan.
Hey, Jeff, ahead. It's another small guy getting in the way of a big guy. So what do you have here on this one?
No, that's a good call. He clearly had established legal guarding position. Foul on Duncan. Don't run over him. Spin off him. Get in your spot.
Duncan has about 4 inches on Nahara, who's listed at 6'8". Van Exel. Duncan tried to back tap, and Claxton runs it down with 1 minute to go in the half. Ginobili passed on the 3. Claxton feeling confidence. It counts, and a foul away from the ball. Heads back to the bench. 40 seconds remaining in the half. Dallas up by 1. Finley, yes, a line drive over Jackson. 3-point Maverick lead. Greg Popovich staying with Speedy Claxton, who's played well until that point as he turns it over. Tony Parker obviously has not been himself because of the stomach flu, had not played well. 2-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Here's Williams for 3. Williams from downtown. 6 seconds remaining in the half. Jackson met by the double. Duncan gets it off in time. That's the end of the first half. The Mavericks with a 46-40 lead on the Spurs. Once again, Dallas doing it without the injured Dirk Nowitzki. And getting strong performances in the first half from Nick Van Exel, who leads the way with 12. 9 apiece from Walt Williams and Michael Finley, and Rafe LaFrance with 8 points. Mavericks with an excellent shooting first half at 48%. San Antonio at 42. Steve Nash has led the way in the assist department with 8. Tony Parker is back despite the stomach flu. Finley for Nash, assist number 9 for Nash, and the Mavericks lead by 8.
Greg Popovich said it to us today about Steven Jackson's defense. He hasn't been in the oven long enough to be fully baked defensively. And right there was an example where he gambled on the curl play.
Offensive foul on Duncan. That's his second personal.
And you see the white shirts converge to the basketball. Williams taking the offensive foul. That's on Tim Duncan. Can't believe it.
Mavericks with a backcourt of Van Exel and Nash. Up front, Finley, LaFrentz, and Williams. Once again, Dirk Nowitzki sidelined by the sprained knee, sitting out for a third straight game. As we mentioned earlier, Sean Bradley is available. Don Nelson said earlier he might use him in spots. Air ball that lands out of bounds, so San Antonio gets it back. And Greg Popovich going with his starting lineup with Duncan, Robinson, and Bowen on the front line, and Jackson and Parker in the backcourt. Here's Parker.
That's not his type of shot right there.
Well, he's 0 for 4 in the first half, just trying to get himself to the foul line, maybe.
And Parker calls for steps. Here's a look at our deep game summary. I mentioned the shooting percentages are a role reversal on the part of Spurs and Mavericks.
Normally it's San Antonio that's got everybody shooting at 40 or 41%. Right now, Dallas has the Spurs shooting in the low 40s.
Steve Nash extends to a 10-point lead, the biggest of the night for the Mavericks. San Antonio takes a timeout.
See, Jeff, here's what I see. They have such good people on their team, San Antonio. They want to do what the coach wants them to do, and that is share the ball, reverse the ball, make extra passes, don't take hurried shots. Well, against packed-in defenses like that, here you are standing out there, you're just trying to do what the team wants you to do. It's confusing to the players sometimes. They don't become aggressive.
Williams was sitting on the floor and trying to get to it. He thought he was fouled. Nahara has come out for LaFrentz, who heard it from this crowd. What a performance by Rafe LaFrentz here tonight. Rose, nice move by Malik Rose. 8 points for Rose. Mavericks 57, Spurs 48. Just under 6 remaining in the third. Shot clock down to 3. Van Exel. And Claxton pushes it. Nahara jumping out. And it's no, not deflected. Let's see. Claxton claims it was deflected, but he threw it away. It will be Dallas back in possession.
It was either deflected or they grabbed his wrist on that one, one of the two.
Mavericks have led most of the way. They've led by as many as 13. They're up here by 9. Finley looking to post up. Finley gets Michael Finley with 13, and the Mavericks lead 59-48.
And there's no doubt Dallas is going at Steven Jackson. Jackson's playing well on offense. He's got to tighten up his defense.
And that was last touch by the Mavericks. And Don Nelson continues to shuffle. Here's Adrian Griffin for Walt Williams. Done a good job. 5 of 11, 12 points for the Wizards. 13 on the shot clock. Claxton rejected. Nahara set the screen. Van Exel. Yes! We're at 35% during the season.
You And as Greg Popovich says, he has no control over whether they make or miss. But what San Antonio does have control, you see a great save by Finley, is how well they defended rebounds. They're doing neither tonight.
Oh, Nash all the way. It has been an onslaught by the Mavericks in the third quarter. 20-second timeout called by San Antonio. The Mavericks lead by 15.
You can see the energy that Dallas is playing with, and it's starting to force down. Nash taking it, putting the defense in transition, finishing with his left hand. Greg Popovich calls that timeout. He's trying to regroup his troops, trying to get them to re-energize and understand that, okay, what happened to us, we can make happen to them.
Nash being played by Kerr, and they clear it out for Nash. Has to give it up. Shot clock down to 5. Griffin called for the foul. Offensive foul.
Offensive foul, number 17, Griffin, his third.
Now Griffin knows that this is much too hard. When he pulls this right shoulder back into Rose, this is clearly an offensive foul.
And that's one of Malik Rose's greatest strengths, is he's got the ability to move his feet and keep people in front of him.
37-year-old Steve Kerr in his 15th NBA season, getting it to Steven Jackson. Another 3 for Jackson. He has 18 points. That's his third from downtown, so it's down to a 10-point Maverick lead.
Greg Popovich can start selling right now. He can sell that story about these last 2 minutes being so important. They're down to 10. Can they cut it to less than that?
Griffin. Adrian Griffin with his second field goal. Let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, Coach Popovich has been working the bench, not only talking to the players, but also the doctors. Dr. Paul Sines said Tony Parker is all right medically to continue playing. However, Coach Popovich says you got to give him some more fluids to raise his energy level. Marv?
How about Steve Kerr on his first attempt hitting the 3? One of the great three-point shooters in the history of the NBA. Steve Kerr off the bench to connect. Nash played on a switch by Duncan. Rebounded by Griffin. Adrian Griffin has done a nice job.
The problem is on that switch, Kerr wound up on Griffin. Griffin winds up getting the second shot opportunity back now for Dallas as they run this shot clock down.
Steve Kerr huffing and puffing as he defends on Michael Finley. Finley goes right at him. Shot clock at 3. Naharov rejected by Duncan. It's a 3-on-2. Ginobili taking to the rim.
But very decisive. Jackson 3, Kerr 3, and the Ginobili drive. I like how their perimeter's playing right now.
2 games back. Playoff career high 21. Ginobili tonight is 1 of 5 from the field. Final seconds of the third. They're on their feet here at American Airlines Center. Van Exel going at Kerr with a hesitation move. Sets it up for Williams. Yes! From downtown with 1/10 of a second remaining in the third quarter.
At the end of 3, Mavericks 69.
Steve Kerr back with San Antonio. Spent 3 years with the Spurs. Then went on to Portland. Duncan coming up short. Tim Duncan has been scoreless the last 21 minutes. 1 for his last 8. Van Exel going at Kerr and scoring.
Well, going back to Duncan, you're talking about the league's MVP. He was 5 for 10 in the first quarter, 1 for 8 since then, just 2 points. Just not going to happen with San Antonio unless he does a little more stuff as far as putting numbers on the glass.
And Mark, think about it. Right now, Walt Williams has outscored Tim Duncan. If that happens, no way San Antonio has enough firepower to win. We get so used to him being dominant. When he has a bad game, difficult for the Spurs.
Shot clock to 5. Down to 2. Van Exel. Jackson handles the outlet. Again, the Mavericks get back. Nahara matches up with Jackson. Jackson has had the hot hand. Ginobili open. Yes. Manu Ginobili hits the 3. He has 7. Mavericks now lead 71-62, and San Antonio showing some signs.
And Duncan held the ball long enough and sucked in the second defender deep enough that when they swung it, they had the wide open Ginobili on the weak side of the floor.
Offensive foul. Steve Kerr was able to draw it. He took the push from Walt Williams.
And a great switch by Greg Popovich. Instead of having Kerr guard Van Exel, he has him guarding Walt Williams. Kerr's fighting in the post. The right elbow is what was called by Steve Javie. A good call, but an excellent move by Greg Popovich.
And Dallas right now just switched their defense. Don Nelson goes back to his man-to-man defense. No more combination for this series.
Nash and Griffin have checked back in for the Mavericks. Jackson, not a good shot. And deflected out of bounds, last touch by the Mavericks. So San Antonio will have the new 24.
Even though the dark jersey comes over the top, it's tough to tell whether it was not the white jersey that tipped it last.
Jackson for 3. Yes! Steven Jackson shooting the Spurs back into it. He now has 21. Mavericks have led by as many as 15. It's down to 6.
3 perimeter offensive threats are on the floor, and they're all taking the shot in rhythm.
Finley had it knocked away by Ginobili. Here comes Jackson. Spreads it out. And then shoots. Yes! Another 3 for Steven Jackson. It's a 3-point game. Timeout called by the Mavericks. That's his 5th 3 of the night. With 5 of the last 6 field goals from downtown. 3-point Dallas lead. They've led by as many as 15. Finley putting the moves on Kerr. And Kerr able to tip it to Ginobili.
You saw Don Nelson go right to the switch, pick and roll, switch, got Kerr on Finley. He felt that Finley would be able to shoot it over the top of Kerr.
Ginobili slipping it through to Rose. He's fouled by LaFrentz. Just under 80% during the regular season, but misses on both. San Antonio has had huge problems at the line, particularly in the 4th quarter. Nash played on a switch by Duncan. And Finley stepped out of bounds. He was backing up, and he had the pivot foot out of bounds.
Steve Kerr, so smart. When his man cleared across the lane, he knew that Duncan had a bad mismatch, a guard that could go by him. Kerr just stayed there, basically zoned off the bottom to give Duncan help from behind.
4th turnover by the Mavericks. In this 4th quarter, San Antonio does not have any. Ginobili rebounded by Finley. Van Exel for 3. And the Mavericks have been off here on the 4th.
Jeff, Ginobili's missed his last 2 shots because he's trying to curl the ball, kind of finger roll it in.
Rose blocked by Williams. Rose on the recovery is fouled by Nahara. For the Mavericks, their 3rd team foul, and Malik Rose is upset. He's taken a physical pounding in this series, and usually it has been Nahara as the guy's been making the contact on Malik.
You'll see back in game 1 when Malik Rose goes down, Maharaj's knee hits him in the back of the head. He lost the feeling in both arms at that time. Then you'll see the elbow, a late elbow, as LaFrenge is trying to clear himself. He gets hit in the chin.
Here's Kerr for 3. Yes! Steve Kerr, a member of 4 straight NBA championship teams, 3 with the Bulls. Then in 1999 with the Spurs has come off the bench to hit 2 threes. The game is tied at 71. Nash saving the backcourt violation. Nash picked up by Duncan. Nash forced it. Look out, Kerr diving for it, able to tip it, and Jackson is on it.
You're exactly right. That was Steve Kerr that dove for that thing and kept it alive.
Jackson changed his mind. Good decision. Kerr with another 3. Yes! An incredible display by the 37-year-old Steve Kerr since he has entered the game. San Antonio has outscored Dallas 26-8. The Spurs up by 3. Nash for 3. And Ginobili able to hustle it down.
This is just what we saw from Dallas in the 4th quarter of the last game. Total energy reversal, total momentum change. Same thing for San Antonio here tonight.
Now Duncan backing Maharaj. Tim Duncan with his first field goal in 27 minutes.
You can see him trying to bait Dallas in to bite hard on the double team so he can swing it out. When they wouldn't bite hard, he stepped through.
There's Finley from downtown. And you get the idea. Jeff, you mentioned this is exactly what San Antonio was facing in Game 5. The Mavericks are feeling the pressure here in the 4th quarter.
And right now, Dallas doesn't want to double because this man has been killing it.
Kerr again! Steve Kerr with another 3. Who was involved in a mismatch with LaFrence. All San Antonio in the 4th quarter. Usually it is Dallas as the come-from-behind team, and San Antonio feverishly trying to protect the lead. Ginobili is fouled. He'll head to the line. We're down to 3.5 remaining.
Foul Dallas 43, Walt Williams.
Ginobili strong to that left hand. You have to understand he likes to come back to the left hand. That time a little fake right, come back left in the foul.
Ginobili a 74% free throw shooter. Well, the NBA Finals tip off on June the 4th at 8 o'clock on ABC. The New Jersey Nets waiting in the wings. You can log on to NBA.com for an exclusive look ahead at the potential matchup. Love it live on NBA.com. 10-point San Antonio lead after trailing by 15. Jackson with the steal. He has Rose. Rose could not finish. Finley got a piece of it. But plenty of time on the shot clock.
Peter Holt, the owner of the Spurs, jumped up when they came up with the ball, pointed and said, take it back out, just like Pop was saying, start it over again.
Nice ball movement. Ginobili trying to get a little too tricky. Van Exel to the crossover. Beautiful move by Nick Van Exel.
Very important now. San Antonio has to continue playing. You cannot play scared because there's a lot of time left in this game. And we know Dallas scores points quickly.
Or take a timeout and get Kerr back on the floor for Claxton.
Here's Ginobili for 3. Rebounded by Duncan, and he's fouled by Nash. San Antonio has outscored Dallas 25-4 in this 4th quarter, and that foul puts the Mavericks over the limit. We'll be right back. Steve Kerr in his 15th season out of Arizona saw only limited action for the Spurs during the regular campaign, although it did appear in 75 games. And Greg Popovich had to go deeper into his rotation tonight. Tony Parker ailing with the stomach flu. Speedy Claxton picked up a third foul, so he sat down, and Steve Kerr came on and was on fire. 4 for 4 from downtown.
As Jeff mentioned earlier in the game, against a collapsing defense, the way Dallas was playing it, packing 5 guys into the blue paint, you're not going to win a game unless people from the outside start to make shots. That's the guy right there who turned this game around for the Spurs.
And Steven Jackson should be given a lot of credit as well for keeping him within striking range when no one else could get anything going.
We talked about reasons why the Spurs have blown some leads, missed free throws and turnovers. Duncan just missed the first one.
1 of 3 from the line tonight. And San Antonio 10 of 16 at the line. 82-73 Spurs. Hoping to wrap the series here tonight in 6. Van Exel lost it. Ginobili with Claxton. 3-on-1. Duncan the trailer. Beautifully executed by the Spurs, and they now lead by 11. The Dallas Mavericks led most of the way, led by as many as 15. Here's LaFrentz for 3. And a loose ball foul on Williams.
Number 43, Walt Williams.
It's a beautiful job of executing the fast break. Once Ginobili knew they had numbers, he turned up the speed. Claxton knew all along that his big man was trailing down the floor. Duncan with the finish.
And Mike, the quandary always is for a coach to try to convince his players. Which comes first? Good defense that leads to good offense, or is it the other way around? Good offense leading to good defense.
And you see Greg Popovich talking to Steve Kerr, making a decision whether or not he should go back in with just about 2 minutes remaining or keep him on the bench.
Malik Rose is now 0 for 4 at the line. Now Roger Bell will come on for Walt Williams. Spurs have outscored the Mavericks 28-4 in this fourth quarter. The all-time low in postseason. Fewest points in a quarter, 5. And Dallas with 4. With just under 2 minutes to go in the fourth. 85-73. LaFrentz for 3, way off.
LaFrentz let the crowd affect his decision-making on that one. He didn't want to shoot, the crowd yelled, so he shot it.
Coming up on 1.5 minutes remaining in the fourth. Here's Rose, it counts, and the foul on LaFrentz. With 1.29 remaining in this fourth quarter, unless there is a miraculous turn, it appears the San Antonio Spurs are headed to an NBA Finals date with the New Jersey Nets. Make it 31-4 San Antonio over Dallas here in the fourth.
You can't even comprehend that big a differential in a fourth quarter.
Here's Bell, and he is fouled. San Antonio is on its way to the NBA Finals. I'll meet up with the Nets. They split the season series in the game late in the season in San Antonio. You recall all the controversy concerning the possibility of Jason Kidd being interested in signing as a free agent in San Antonio. And Tony Parker went out and had a sensational game, a game that we broadcast here on TNT.
I think New Jersey matches up extremely well with San Antonio. I think New Jersey has a great opportunity to use the rest, to get Kidd healthy and come out and try to win game 1.
And since game 1 isn't until June 4th, it also allows Tony Parker to get some fluids back in his body and regain a little bit of strength.
For the Spurs, it'll be their first trip to the NBA Finals since 1999. Here's another three-point attempt when San Antonio won the championship in the lockout-shortened season by Jeff beating your New York Knicks in a 5-game series. San Antonio, New Jersey will be the first NBA final matching two former ABA teams. The Spurs, the only one-time ABA franchise to win an ABA title. And Steve Kerr is tonight's Gatorade Peak Performer. A sizzling performance off the bench for Kerr. And the Dallas Mavericks are hearing the applause from this crowd. Greg Popovich and Don Nelson congratulated each other. San Antonio outscored Dallas 34-9 in the fourth quarter, so it's not an NBA low in terms of the quarter, but only 9 points to the Mavericks in the fourth quarter. And San Antonio will face a Nets team that has won 10 consecutive postseason games. Nets have not lost since back on April 26th. You'd have to go back to an overtime defeat in the first round of the playoffs.